must feel good if you are Tribe, especially coming in from that loss. And now for them, they're starting things through in this elimination bracket really well. So far, so good. But when it comes to the points down, 250 and 133, dominant start coming in from this team. You have to give props to them because they are just doing so well. They did what it takes. They covered all of their lanes. But from Stamina, quite the opposite. They kept on funneling into the same direction, the same entry points where if you are going to do that one by one, you're going to have a hard time trying to break into the hard point.
And right now for Tribe, you can tell it is all about those roles. The two Slayers, Jez and Tech, both going double positive. Your three OBJ players, all nearly 2 minutes inside of the hard point. That is teamwork, that is strategy at its finest. Can't be understated the importance of Vega going 10 positive with a minute 43 as well. And across the board, Tribe Gaming completely dominates that one.
Now taking a look at the other side though, Grizz tried his hardest to go and outslay everyone, but obviously, taking a look at what we have here, the numbers just don't lie. 43 and 37, that is just hard to beat. And now going all the way down though, Marvel kind of struggling to get a lot of these kills with just 11 seconds inside of the hard point. That's gotta hurt because not only are you not leading when it comes to the kills, but also with the points as well. Need to find some sort of adapted nature when it comes to this team. But taking a look at the highlights of what we have over here, and this is where kind of the snowball kind of pushed through, where this is the first reset actually. So this is still pretty even game field where Stamina, they were actually doing a pretty good job. But when the reset actually happened from P3 all the way into P4, that's when it was like, okay, this is going to be endgame from here.
And when it comes to especially Call of Duty Mobile takeoff hardpoint, that chain to P3, from P3 to P4 is the #1 most important play. Tribe played that to perfection, and I think throughout those last 100 or so hardpoint points available, I think Stamina got maybe 5 of them. Could not have been played any better by Tribe. They locked down the spawn trap from inside of the hardpoint and complete dominance out of them in the second half of that game.
And, you know, just speaking of this Tribe team, they just had a massive boost of confidence with winning this in such a convincing fashion. And for Stamina, they need to pick things up, especially now they're going into search and destroy slums. I mean, search and destroy standoff, rather. Later on, they're going to be playing slums in control. And obviously, if we are having a game number 4, if a comeback is going to be made by Stamina, we're going to be playing raid, hardpoint, and firing range, search and destroy later on for game number 5. But standoff, we already know that Tribe is just so good at this game, but hey, we need to know if they're actually right, especially with the showing that they had a while ago up against Wolves.
Yeah, and Stamina, I think S&D is going to fit more to their play style, an opportunity to slow things down and not have to be quite as aggressive. You've got players like Marvel and Narcs that can both dominate with the sniper, so an opportunity for them to really show out and open up some holes in the Tribe defense to really try to exploit some of those opportunities and see if they can sneak away some rounds against a Tribe Gaming team that definitely has a chip on their shoulder. Did not expect to see them in the losers bracket this early on Saturday, so they've definitely got something to prove in this one.
Definitely, and they kind of proved it a while ago from their game against Wolves where they won it pretty convincingly in standoff, search, and destroy. Yes, they struggled into that game number 5 in firing range, but it is important to note how well they actually play here. And this particular map is going to be quite scary if you are going to be, you know, Stamina, needing to go and push it up into the maximum, because once we get into that control, this is where things kind of get scary for your team.
Well, right now we do have another matchup going on. It is Inco Gaming up against Scars. No surprise, the most dominant player being Lucasen. We're going to go ahead and throw things to an interview with him to see how he's feeling about the matchup.
My name is Lucasen and play for Ink Stalwart. Ink Stalwart is me, Crossing, Rafa, and Dad and Noel. The most clutch up I think is both people, Rafa and Crossing, that are incredible in clutch situations. You know, it's the first time I'm playing the LAN. In Brazil, we don't have two but LANs. It's a big moment to me, to my family, to my teammates. That's incredible. I'm looking forward to play with Tribe because they are the #1 team, and my aspirations have so many good players. It's gonna be a huge moment. Being top 8 is a phenomenal, it's a really good, but the job has done yet. If me and my team win, means a lot for me and my family, for all my time playing, all my time living and competitive. So it's gonna be insane for me.
competition. I know a lot of people were afraid of Lucasen, and obviously it was for good reason. Got a lot of motivation and a lot of energy coming out of him, and especially with his team going up 2-0 right now, they got to be feeling good. They're heading into a control mode where they've looked solid across the board as well. Doesn't really seem like they've had any one bad modes throughout this portion of the competition, so excited to see if they can close things out, but also given that this is a Scars team that was able to take down Q9, you got to think there's some more fight in them.
A lot of motivation coming in from this team, and he mentioned it. Family is going to be one of the biggest ones, and obviously he has a little bit of family over here, a piece of home in the form of his teammates, and I feel like that is probably going to be the fire that they need to get through of this matchup. And now for Scars, though, they need to step it up. Because when things come down into control, that's where Inco can actually, you know, perform. But hey, for control, they're kind of having a hard time. They have 50%. And so far, Inco's actually doing a good job. 100% win rate all throughout the board, hardpoint, S&D. But for control, that's where the blunder kind of falls through. And so if you're going to be Scars, you can actually try to utilize that and put it into your advantage.
Right now, it looks like we're going to be hopping back into the Tribe versus Stamina matchup. Obviously, especially with this being an elimination game, got to know the outcome. That is priority number one. And right now, Tribe Gaming looking to extend that lead. Gothillia going to be able to push up into the bomb site to at least safeguard things, but nothing's safe when Jez is around. Hopping up from boxes. Beautiful jump shot with that DLQ. And that first blood going to open things up for Tribe to get more aggressive here in the S&D. But Grizz, nice little counter right there. Pre-fire with the Deagle. He's feeling himself right now. But it is Tribe making their way into the bomb site, and Plant going to go down over on A.
A's going to be open, and now the play for the retake is going to push through, and it looks like a 4-man push coming in from back alley. Going to be greeted by 2 plays from Tribe, though. Player number 5 from Tribe, that's going to be Marshy. Saw it, gave that information to his team, knows very well that he's going to be outgunned, outnumbered here in this particular hill, and that's going to be really good. He's going to be staying put, and for Marshy to do so, that's probably really good information on their end. As a 1v1 situation happens in Alpha, that's a really fast push coming in from Stamina. 4-1, and as we thought Tribe had the advantage, Stamina just absolutely crushes it. 3v1. Tectonic gets that 1 kill off of the Deagle. But hey, Stamina finally gets that 1 win. Confidence on their side.
I mean, with the way they were stacked up, if Tectonic had a sniper in hand, he probably could have hit a quad collat right there. Obviously, the odds are not in his favor, but whew, beautifully played out of Stamina to get things started right here. That's exactly what they needed to get the momentum back in their favor. But Jez firing back immediately. Going to be able to drop Drari right there. He has had such a huge impact so far. Going to connect with both the stun and the nade right there. But Gothilla going to be able to trade out Veg, getting a little too aggressive over on the A bomb site. We got some reinforcements here for the Stamina boys, but Bolu can be able to take down Gothilla. Trophy's going down, and now Narc's not really in position to chow. He's going to be forced to wrap back to mid right here. We got players on the inside of Courtyard, but they don't realize Tectonic on the backside of Grandma's right now. They've got to deal with him immediately. They're not going to be able to do that. He's able to find 2, and now it's all going to be down to Marvel. Able to connect with 1, but he has no lines of sight onto that bomb.
2 players from Tribe going into Alpha, and 1 player sitting back, sitting pretty, just trying to have that cross down. But then for Marvel, he's in a perfect position to go up against Jez, but then Jez a little bit too quick when it comes to the scope. He's been an essential player for Tribe, always making that space, always getting that first blood so far. And now that is a good opening pick coming in from Tribe.
Just a beautiful setup out of Tribe right there. You get 1 player pushed back. They know there's that nice little spot underneath the van that you can peek through and see the bomb wherever they're planting it. So rather than planting on that box's side, planting for the van location. And that's something we've seen them do consistently, and it has worked beautifully for them. No first blood here. We do get 1 player pushed way up right now for Stamina. That's going to be Drari, so he's in a cheeky little spot right now. Narc's going to be able to hit the snipe onto Marshy. And this once again puts Tribe into a rough spot with Marvel getting some information as well.
Marvel, no information from him so far. Knowing very well that players are going to be pushed back. This is a good defensive setup coming in from Stamina. Not just that, there you go, Drari in the cheeky corner. Spots 2, but doesn't really quite finish it. Bolu gets that kill. over-aggressive just a tiny bit. And now, 2 players also going in for the defense, going in here from Alpha. And Bolu's going to be rushing in. He's not going to know that there's Godzilla right there. Narks gets that 1 kill off of Bolu. A 1v4 situation, and this is going to be a tricky thing to have if you're Tectonic yet again being left alone. So far, so good from Stamina, looking very solid here in Search and Destroy.
Bolu getting a little bit over-aggressive off of that stun connect. Pretty much blindly pushing into a site that could very well contain all 4 remaining Stamina players. It's going to allow them to retake the lead right here. And once again, Tribe looking to equalize. And who else? Every time Tribe needs it, Jez is there to deliver. Just like that. Stamina player down, and it's Grizz who's had the biggest impact for them so far. Right now, Jez 4 to his name, Tech with 5, but the rest of Tribe combined for 1. They got to get those other 3 players going if they want to be able to take down Stamina here in the S&D.
Stamina going in for a default setup. 2 over here inside B side of the map and A. But now they're getting that information down that it's probably going to be an A push. Now the members of Stamina, the 2 members, need to go and push out. This is good timing for them. That's going to be a really big kill coming from play number 5. That's Drari. That's Godzilla getting them 1 by 1. And as we're seeing a 2v2 situation finally happen through, Tectonic gives a really big kill off of Marvel. Now a 2v1.
Marvel did such a good job of playing his life right there, but they just couldn't get the reinforcements into the bomb site in time. Tectonic, COD timing actually going to go his way. That's going to give them the information. They know they can plant Narcs. That's probably not the spot that you want to chow, and now it continues to be the Jez and Tech show combining for 12 of the team's 13 kills. They're doing it all themselves. Narc, you just can't chow the bomb heady with Tech right there. I know it's an uncomfortable spot, but with no utility to work with, there's not a whole lot of options for him right now. Tries to make his way up. What a beam onto Tectonic, but Jez watches the cross, shuts him down, and Tribe takes the round.
Jez is just so reliable as a teammate. He's so sneaky that you wouldn't even notice that he's going to be there in for the backup. But as we're going to be pausing our matchup right now, we're actually taking a look at our Scars game versus Inko. And if you are at home, you can watch our Bravo stream as we're waiting for our Alpha stream to go and reconnect. And now for Scars and Inko, speaking of, here we go. That's going to be that control where it's so far so good for Inko Gaming. It's smooth sailing for them, up 2.
They are feeling comfortable. They get the B site captured. Obviously, A, typically the tougher one, but obviously they've already been able to do it at 1 time in this game, being up 2-0, so one more time shouldn't be too difficult. Looking at the operator availability, they've got 3, couple streaks that are ready as well, and looking over at Scars, they've only got 1. Lucasen gonna go ahead, call in that claw, just pre-firing, trying to get some information. Nothing gonna be able to bounce, but right now they've got the life advantage. If you're Scars, you have got to get out of this spawn. You got to get pushed out. They're able to take down Lucasen right there. That's going to be a crucial kill, but you got to get back to defend the site. Rafa comes through, Purifier in hand, and Inko said, we want to end it here and now. Only 3 life advantage, but right now the offensive side going to give Scars some type of advantage, and if they play this properly, it's a very, very winnable round.
Oh, there you go. Oh, I thought Pantogen was going to be able to get that beautiful 2.
Why are you pushing out?
I'm not quite sure why they're pushing out. It is a 1 life, 7 and 6. Finally 6 lives left for Inko, but it's just a big question mark as to why are you overly aggressing, knowing very well that number 1, you're defensive, and also the fact that they only have a few lives left, and there you go, sealing the deal. 3-0 in this control, 3-0 in this series. And wow, what a beautiful game that we have for Inko. Really just proves that they're probably one of the best teams that we've had here so far, a contender for our finals.
All right, we're gonna hop back into our Tribe Stamina matchup. That was a head scratcher by Scars. All you have to do is play that control zone. You have to not die, and they have players pushing out of every doorway for no reason. I don't really know what to make of it, but as for the match at hand, no first bloods. We're tied up at 2-2. You can basically call this the start of a new game.
Starting up, very good. Marvel gets that first scope off of Jez. That's an essential player for them to take down because he's been absolutely massive with that scope. Marvel almost gets the second, but the information goes through. Bola goes in there. Not just that Tectonic though, that's gonna be a really good shot up against Grizz.
Once again, The Tectonic and Jez show rolls on. Jez is taken out of the equation. Marshy content to play the inside of Grandma's right now. It's 4v4. Vague's got the bomb in hand. Right now they're content to patrol that building by the B site, and right now gonna sit back and see if their scopes can connect once again. Bowler's taken out of the equation, and just like that, there's no long range control for Tribe. You got Narcs and Marvel still in the game as well. Gothilla gonna wrap back into blue. He does get spotted, but Vague not really gonna know if he's going up or down, and definitely spots Vague in the backside in the back alley.
Gothilla in a very good situation to give that information in his team, and now just as quickly as that Tribe goes in there for a semi-rotation, they were thinking about it, but now they can definitely go as they seal the deal up against Gothilla. And now they're going in through Bakery, going in through B, but then Marvel yet again with a beautiful 3 kills, and that's gonna be one more game. Narcs gets one more, 1v3. What can you do? You can't do anything. Drari stops the push, and now finally 3 and 2, Stamina up 1. That's gonna be really big for them, and being patient is so good. They were covering all of the lanes really well because Tribe could have easily gone through that back alleyway.
That's just a beautiful spread, and obviously when you remove the sniper from the equation for Tribe, that just gives so much more advantage for Stamina to control really big parts of the map. Marshy gonna be able to find first blood with the nade. They're gonna occupy the A bomb site and feeling pretty comfortable as Drari drops as well. Jez gonna be able to connect for another. Vague taken down, but his teammates in a nice spot right here. You gotta think bomb probably gonna get picked up, and it sounds like it's going down here on the A bomb site. Narcs and Marvel left to try to clutch. A couple of snipers, if they can find a pick to open, could be huge.
It just looks like with Stamina, they're so good when it comes to being passive, and now I feel like for Tribe, they know that. If they become too passive as well, they're playing Stamina's game, and now they're just going in there full aggression, full sand off of Alpha, and they're doing a good job of playing the time. And now for Narcs, you need to find a way to isolate a lot of these players, but it's going to be hard with 20 seconds left on the clock versus 4 Tribe players. It's going to be dire for you, my dude. And now Tectonic seals the deal, and now we're equaled when it comes to the points.
Marshy just being a little pest right there. Shoulders to the left, shoulders to the right. Not going to overpeak anything. And give it, yeah, give him a little shimmy behind tractor right there, and no opportunities to connect. And once again, it's a 2-man show for Tribe. Those other 3 players still only combined for 3 kills, and we're 6 rounds in. The fact that they've been able to keep things tied up this far, impressive in its own right. Drari gonna drop right there, and Vague finally decides to show up to the game, and he does it in a big way. 3 kills on the inside of the A bomb site. That leaves only 2 remaining Stamina players.
I was about to say Vague has 0 kills at the start of this round number 7, but hey, he showed up. He read our minds, and that's going to be really big, essential kills for them. And now as a gunfight finally pushes through, Marshy wins those. A 1v3 situation, and now it's going to be troublesome for Narcs. Yet again, the only player left for his team.
Lots of visibility right now for Tribe. You got Jez with the scope. You got Tectonic holding those longer angles. Narcs thinking, maybe do I want to go for the B plant? Probably not, but there's nobody in the inside of Grandma's, so Tribe content to give him the B plant if he wants it. You do have Jez holding on to statue right now. It's going to make life difficult, and maybe if Narcs can get some timing to go his way right here, might be able to make something happen. But always a second too late on these peaks, and now only 40 seconds to work with. He's got no information. He's going to be forced more than likely into a very difficult B plant.
Jez is right there to see him, though. He's in a very great spot, and as the information comes through, 3 eyes coming in from Tribe is actually going to be having that sight on you. And that's 25 seconds left on the clock. They're not moving. They're just going to be staying there. Jez is absolutely glued here at statue. Narcs gets that essential 1 kill, though, as you're going to be having a 2. The only way that he can win is for them to line up, but no, Jez is just a little bit too good, a little bit too patient. And now a 4 and 3 is the scoreline.
Well played by Tribe, sticking together. You let your sniper control the long angles, and they work it to perfection right there, cleaning things up. They retake the lead, starting to get a little bit more out of Vague and Marshy right here, as now it is going to be Stamina making their push on into the A side. Man, oh man, does the tactical connect. Grizz gonna be able to take down 1, but it is going to be Tribe coming out better on the trade, or rather 2-2, and once again, 1-for-1s. Now Tech and Jez, I mean, if there's anybody that you want alive for Tribe right now, it's those two.
Man, the bomb carrier just was alone, no backup coming in from his team, and now that allowed Jez and Tectonic to get those kills. They have 21 kills each. I mean, combined. That is just crazy numbers, and everyone else from their teammates kind of struggling, but hey, if you have two of these players, there's no problem. And as the plant finally goes down, Narc's also a very essential player for his team, tries to go in there shoulder to shoulder, trying to go and shimmy out of his way, but then with him just being the only one left, it's not going to be going in, but Jez is giving him the body shots. Confident in that win. They're going to be extending their lead by 2.
I mean, Narcs, you have all of Tractor to work with, Jez smack dab in the middle of the open, and still somehow your teammate, he's not going to be able to do that. And just like that, Tribe 2 rounds away from taking the S&D as well. The extreme aggression that we've seen, and once again, Narcs just pushing ahead. They're just chucking tacticals in.
It's going to be a little bit aggressive here towards the A bomb side. There's going to be one player. That's going to be Jez right there in that cubby being very quiet. Tectonic gets shots, but then Trade coming in through. Jez too good with that MW11. That's going to be big. Oh, with the Amoeba shots as well, getting that beautiful 2-piece. Match point advantage. There you go.
And right now, Stamina just looking a little bit lost on the offensive side. We may have some technical difficulties or maybe just a little bit of frustration. Difficult to tell at this point, but right now, that Stamina's got to take a different approach. The blindly throw all your tacticals and your nades and hope that some of it sticks, just not going to work against Tribe. That's going to be vague, opening things up right there. He's going to get traded out. Once again into a 4v4, and because of the frustration out of the Stamina boys, now they're in a tough spot where they've got no map control.
Gusillo, though, that's going to be really good kills for him. He does spot 2 players coming from Tribe going off of gas. Speaking of him, he's got to be able to get Marshy. And now for Bolu, good trades. And now, still though, Tribe has the advantage, but it's a good thing for Stamina. They're just getting that information first. And now so far, A bomb site's going to be absolutely cleared. There's going to be that 1 player off of Granny's, 1 player off of that backside push, and also 1 into spawn. I'm not quite sure if they can actually push through the backside, because you're going to be greeted by those 2 players, and they're going to be greeted by 1 right here. Narcs gets 1. That is going to be good info for them, but they need to find the other 2 players still hiding in spawn.
I like the double chow onto Bolu right there. That puts them in a good spot. You still got Jez back in spawn. It seems like he may have gotten some information off that. I don't think that he did. But the Tribe players once again content to let the bomb go down and see if they can work a retake. It is going to be Jez spotted out. Clean angle out of Narcs, and all of a sudden they're in position to keep this alive. Tectonic, I believe, trying to sound right now. I thought he'd hear a player in mid-street. And they're going to go ahead and look to wrap on into the A bomb site. I don't think Tectonic heard them.
Yeah,
or maybe he's making the push right now because he did. He's going to spot out 1, but doesn't get the kill on either. 1 HP. Could allow Godzilla to get the plant down if he does it in time, but he's completely exposed.
Oh my God.
There for the trade. Big closeout. Keeps Stamina hopes alive.
Good job, Stamina. Keeping your numbers to your advantage, but well played by Tectonic. He was so close to actually stopping that bomb plant, and for a while I wasn't sure if they had enough time to plant the bomb, but that is going to be clutch for them. 4 and 6. It's still going to be very close for Tribe to go and win this, but for Stamina, definitely still doable to go in there for the comeback. Fast push coming in from Tribe to go in there for that defense. Very heavy defense coming in from Alpha, but it's actually going to be possibly a B push coming in from Stamina.
You're right now. Stamina going to be forced back right here. Narcs looking for those jump shots. It's Marvel connecting. And with him taking Jez out once again, sniper removed from the equation. Tribe player might be able to pick it up. It's Bolu. Not too surprising. He's traditionally been one of the primary snipers for Tribe, but in a smaller map like standoff, typically not as much presence. Godzilla completely exposed, and finally Vague going to peek the corner. Grizz over aggressive once again. Not playing those angles well at all, and he gets shut down. And just like that, Narcs is left alone. It just feels like time after time that the aggression making Stamina pay, because they're making these hasty decisions, and Tribe's there on the opposite side to punish them every time.
Look at Marshy. I was kind of expecting him to actually get it, but there you go. 7-4 is going to be the scoreline here for our S&D, and Tribe is going to be up 2-0. And now for Stamina. This is do or die for you in this control matchup in Slums. This is going to be do or die.
I mean, right now, if you're Stamina, you got to adapt. You can't play into the play style that Tribe wants you to play. And ooh, I just said play a lot of times.
I know, me too. I just said do or die a lot of times. I feel anxious, you know. We're gonna be saying goodbye to another team and possibly another EU team if we don't see Stamina step it up. Another region possibly in the works of exiting this competition. And now let's just talk about the numbers real quick and possibly the percentages of Stamina possibly winning this control. Tribe Gaming won Slums up against Scars and Wolves. And that's going to be really hard situations because they have really good numbers when it comes to that control. And now they're playing it again here. And now if you're going to be Stamina, well, that's going to be hard games as well for you because they don't have the best control matchup. Losing Slums 0-3 up against Omega.
Well, looking at the scoreboard, obviously for a big portion of that, it was the Tech and Jez show, and that was basically just keeping it even. It really felt like once Big Bolu Marshy started to get going, started to build a little bit of momentum, there was not really anything that Stamina could do to stop them. I think especially once they flipped to the defensive side, just baiting Stamina into a lot of those plays, a lot of blind aggression that Tribe was very well prepared for.
And for a time, Stamina was actually so good when it comes to playing that passive gameplay. They were dictating the pace of the game, early rounds, and essentially just securing those and leveling out the playing field. But for Tribe, I mean, we mentioned it time and time again, this is a team that adjusts very well, knowing that, okay, they can definitely lose some of the rounds here, but the good thing is that every time they lose, it's not a complete loss because they just do micro adjustments in their games after that, and that's the reason why they had such a convincing win after that 6th round.
And it definitely felt like that moment where we saw the little bit of body shooting out of Jez. That felt like the turning point, a 2v2 that was incredibly clutchable for Stamina. They were in good position and just couldn't close out the gunfights. Tribe makes them pay, and after that, they pretty much cleaned the table.
Cleaning the table. Let's see if they're going to be making a sweep here. Might possibly give Stamina a 3-0, but obviously our last European team is not going to allow that to happen. But it's a tall task to fulfill because Control, not really their best matchup, and knowing very well it's going to be in Slums where, you know, Tribe is going to be definitely good at. We'll see that in a little bit as we're going to be tossing into break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the COD Mobile World Championships. Just getting a few things squared away so we make sure our final game of the matchup is running as smoothly as possible. Excited to see how these two match up when it comes to the control. Obviously, Tribe going to be favored right now. They came into this tournament as one of the favorites to win the entire thing. The fact that they are even in the lower bracket is a surprise to most people. What does Stamina have to do to get the win here in the control?
Oh, well, this is a little bit of a pickle to control, quite literally, because so far momentum has been on the side of Tribe, and I feel like that standoff game was supposed to be the shift in that momentum favoring Stamina. But as we start things off here, this is the game for Stamina to win, or else it is going to be goodbye, as this is eliminations round 1. Tribe goes in there very aggressively, being greeted by 3 players coming in from Stamina. Jez getting really big kills, 3 for his name so far.
Yeah, and Stamina gets aggressive right there, but nobody there to watch the flank. Marvel's going to be able to get a couple of those crucial kills, but ever since then, it has been all Tribe all the way. Jez already on a 4 spree, free fires those corners, doesn't want anybody getting around for free. Marvel going to peek around the corner to the side, and man, this setup for Tribe is absolutely lethal. Beautiful shots out of Marvel, but he can only do so much by himself. 4 of the 5 kills for the team so far. And right now, this Stamina team is stuck.
Jez on a 5, that is going to be big. And now not just that, 25 lives for them and just 17 for Stamina. Still very doable for that comeback though, but they need to find a way to choose at least one of the sides, because so far they're being pushed down. Jez going to be pushed up all the way through spawn, just stops and delays the push coming in from Stamina. As the clock winds down, we're already at 25 seconds with no ticks of progress, just 11 lives coming in from Stamina.
This round by itself looking a little bit hopeless right here. Jez is ready. Here's the nades, here's the footsteps, pre-fires the corner, and once again, Stamina can't even make their way into the hard point. It's finally going to be a shot through the wall that connects to take down one of the Tribe players. Little bit of progression coming through right here, but with an 11 life disparity, more players getting dropped, only 5 lives remaining. No more respawns for Stamina, and this has been a very one-sided affair so far.
They just look so lost right now with and we just end things over here. It just, when we saw it kind of faltering through, it was when Jez just pushed all the way into their spawn, and that was it. They couldn't even push outside and cross the path through Fountain, through arches. No, they couldn't do that. Couldn't even touch any kind of ticks of progress here on both sides. And now as we're going to be going in for that switch, Tribe going in for that offense, and it looks like it's a different story as mid needs to be fed. There's no fight in mid right now. It's being fought for free.
And right now, Tribe looking to make the aggressive push on over toward that garage side, but not having a whole lot of success. Stamina finding their first success so far in this game, and Grizz going crazy. He is going ham, pushing up against those Tribe players. They've only been able to get 1 kill so far, finally able to fire back. But obviously with Marvel playing the way that he's been with the sniper in hand, able to dominate a little bit more easily on the defensive side. And right now, Tribe trying to break their way on into the B zone, but Drari's got something to say about that one. Pre-fires the corner, a beautiful 2-piece out of him, and just like that, Stamina, an opportunity to take control of this one, as they're looking nice and comfortable here in round 2.
That was a really good first half of the game when it comes to Stamina's gameplay. They pushed kind of far going into pillars. That's going to be really big kills for them as they lead when it comes to that kill count. 22 seconds after the clock, and Tribe looks like they're also having a difficult time when it comes to the offense. Couldn't really go and push past through multiple players of Stamina. Just poison position so overly extended, but it worked out to their favor. But now we're finally picking up the pace coming in from Tribe, clearing out mid. Only have to worry about 1, that's Grizz, but he does go down. But hey, big kills coming in from Marvel when it comes to that sniper. Clears out that Bravo push, and now that's going to be really big for Jez if he wins this gunfight.
A huge wall bang out of him. That's going to clear the Tribe players off. They've only got 9 seconds to take control right here, but Tech beams through that tiny little bit of window right there to remove the sniper from the equation. Narc still trying to keep things clear, and now Tribe out of lives right here. It would take a miracle for them to close this one out. Now down to 4 players. I know they're a really solid team, but seems like this round might not be the one. Only 6 seconds to work with as well. If you're Stamina, all you got to do is clear those points, but they're giving away lives. Tribe Only 2 players still winning the majority of these gunfights. They've got players on the B zone right now. They're going to be able to extend things by a minute right here. And this one isn't quite over yet.
Grizz, though, is going to find Jez, but then Jez just got to stay put, man. Valiant effort, though, for him, knowing very well that, okay, that information is there. And now, for Stamina, you just have to stay put. You don't want the same situation to happen a while ago in that Scar scene, but then that nade almost gets one. But also no information. 42 seconds, 2 more ticks of progress, 5 lives to 2. Still very doable for Tribe to go and win this, but obviously the advantage is to Stamina. They are in a really great position, though, to win all of their gunfights.
All Stamina has to do is not move. They're holding their crosses. They've got 5 players. It's a 5v2. All you have to do is not die. Tribe needs to push into that zone, and somehow they still lose somebody in that process. Marvel's going to drop. Now down to a 2v4. Grizz is finally able to get a kill. Make it 2 right there. He's able to close out the round, but a lot closer than it should have been.
Well played, Stamina. That was a really good call, just holding your positions. But like what you said, yes, too close for comfort, because knowing very well those 2 players from Tribe can definitely clutch those. And I feel like it wasn't as big of a gap that we wanted for Stamina. And it's kind of scary because you see that Tribe might actually win an offensive round, which is so hard to do here. And now for Stamina, they're going to be doing the same thing. They're going to be going on that offense. Jez rips through bricks, almost gets that second, but Narcs denies that.
Tribe's been looking pretty comfortable on the defensive side. Hunter Killer flipping through the air right now. Seems like a great time to hop into a listen-in with Tribe Gaming.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
He's in Graves.
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 P1, one shot. On top of statue. On bricks. 22-19.
There you go.
Watching Graves.
Bricks, left side bricks.
I stun flash 1 P1.
Come.
They might go hop up. They have a sniper. Guys. Sniper bricks.
I'm gonna hit same point.
Watch out on hill. Watch out on hill.
Top ring. I got the one shot guy, I think.
No, that wasn't him. It was a different guy.
Left. They have one P1. They just have Marvel sitting P1.
Flash.
We don't have to feed into this.
Play the, play.
I'm coming back.
Hey, play, we got another pick, play.
Come. I'm watching.
There's one near the jump one near mid.
I got another one.
Pop. Dead.
On court. Well, I'm gonna try to make it. Wait, no, there's one here, one close.
He's one shot, nice.
I got him.
Someone have Graves?
Yeah, I'm looking. It does looking. I got that.
Big side.
Nice.
Nice shot, Marshall.
I'm backing up.
In blue, one shot.
Nobody blue.
Push
Well,
up.
clean communication out of Tribe, great decision making out of them as well. You can hear we don't need to worry about B. They got to get both objectives if they want to capture it. We got the life advantage. We know we're going to have it even more whenever we're on the defensive side. They go ahead, they back things up. Now they get things up to a 9 life advantage. And Stamina just trying with their last hopes to maybe claw their way back into this one. A couple crucial kills, but with only 2 lives remaining, their tournament hopes disappearing before their eyes. And Tribe Gaming closes out the round. Only 1 more needed for them to take home the win.
The good thing about for Stamina here is that this is their defensive round, but I mean, we saw their run a while ago. It was just too close for comfort, so they need to make this really good. But then the bad part is they're going to be ending this if we actually possibly see a round number 5 on the offensive side. And so now, going in there very aggressively, little by little, 3 members coming in from Stamina going down. A very refreshing start coming in from Tribe.
Right here, it's the spot where we're supposed to see Stamina dominating, and it hasn't happened so far. You see some of those operators come out. The pacing of that going to be absolutely crucial. Marvel's the only one that has that available. Tectonic, on the flip side, has his if he wants it. You see, here on the defensive side, Stamina doing their best. And well, I don't know how that was contested right there, but Vig is going to get sniffed out right there, and just like that, things relatively equalized right here. Tribe looking for an opportunity, looking for an opening. No information for them. You still got Narcs in the backside that you got to deal with. He's just spraying and praying with that Holger. Gets some information, gets reinforcements through that side doorway as well. And Stamina doing a good job at defending so far.
They're doing an amazing job, and they do have a bunch of things that they could probably go and defend, but with a life lead, that's going to be really good for them as Tribe is struggling, especially with 17 seconds left on the clock, and Grizz in such a cheeky spot. It's definitely a hard thing to go and contest, but with Guthilla getting that double as well, and with Nars having that 5, that is the best case scenario that you can have in this Stamina team. And there you go, 2 seconds. There is no way that Tribe can go in here, and Stamina did such a good job at applying that pressure, being aggressive so far, and now this is a matchup that we deserve. One upset, one little push, a different kind of play from Stamina on the offensive side could actually change the tides and make the difference between sending Tribe home or going home themselves, being the last hope for Europe.
Well, I like the play out of Tribe right there. They know they've got 4 operators ready to go. They've got not much hope at all, and they don't want to feed streaks and operators. So you know what? We'll just go ahead, flip the sides, and just like that, we're going to be on defense. But they haven't capitalized much as far as map control goes. They've been able to take the lives down, but right now, Stamina is stacking up the time over on B, and it may just be Tribe's game plan to say, you can have B. We'll just play TDM for as long as we can, and very worst case scenario, try to tear you apart once you get over to that A zone. Jez actually going to be able to take off some of that progression time as well. 6 life advantage. And once again, Stamina just hasn't had the map control. They haven't had the gunny to be able to take Tribe out of these capture zones. And right now, they're in a tough spot with their tournament hopes on the line.
9 lives is left. Now make that 10 life differential. Just 1 tick of progress coming in from Bravo. Slowly but surely, the dreams of Stamina gonna be dwindling as the life count also goes down as well, as Tribe over pushes with their operators. They're heavily utilizing this. They have the Preddy to deal with as well with Vague. Possibility to get that double. No, it only gets 1, and that's going to be a push going through. 4 lives to 22 remaining with 20 seconds left, and now that's going to be a really difficult push coming in here from Tribe, but Grizz goes in there, denies it. He's the only one left for his team with 25 to his name, but with 20 coming in from Tribe, it's looking like an impossible run. Searching through the cracks, and there you go. Tribe survives this elimination. Stamina goes home. No more teams for Europe to represent this World Championship, but GG's well played, Stamina.
It has been a well-fought tournament for the Stamina boys. They gave it their best, but they went up against a hungry Tribe Gaming team that is not trying to exit this tournament anytime soon. They showed what they're made of right there, and Tribe Gaming will continue on in the competition.
Whew. We got 1 down, but we definitely have 1 more to go, as later on our elimination round 1 rather, is going to be Skade versus Scars. That's going to be really exciting for everyone watching at home, as we're going to be saying goodbye to more teams today. And like what we said, Stamina tried their best in that search and destroy, tried their best in that control, made it close, put it to round number 5. But honestly, if they started off in the defense, this could have had a different swing in the game. But for now, yeah.
100%. That's the importance of map picks. That's the importance of being able to pick your side as well. And Tribe knew what they needed to do right there. I think as a team, they probably feel confident enough on pretty much any map if they're on the defensive side to be able to get the win. So they executed to perfection right there, knew they didn't need to rush things there in round 4, and they're able to take home the win to advance on in the competition. Stamina once again eliminated. That is Europe completely out of the competition. And that's 1 less Western team. We talked about how many Western teams we had coming into this day, but the Eastern teams looking like they're fighting back as well.
Whew, what a heated match that we saw over there. But obviously for Tribe, they were very disappointed that they lost against Wolves. They definitely didn't want that to happen. Obviously with Tribe, we had such high hopes for them, even in the beginning of this tournament, in the beginning of this competition. But they do live especially knowing that they have probably 9 lives up in their back pocket, and now they're possibly going up into the quarterfinals right now, and they're just waiting into what is going to happen between Skate and Scars. But that is a conversation that I want to throw to the 3 lovely people on the desk. Take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. Great cast there as Tribe dominantly go through 3-0 against Stamina. A shift in proper here along with Digon. And, you know, I was wondering, hey, what's our key moment here? What do we pull in for the highlights? And really, it was just Tribe being Tribe here, and Stamina not really making it close until that control at the end.
Yeah, put a blindfold on and throw a dart. I think any moment in that series you could pick as a quote-unquote key moment, because recovery was 100% there. In particular, I think I'm most excited to see that Tribe got back to their core when it came down to the hard point in particular. The respawn looked much tidier, playing off of trades so much more efficiently. That's the Tribe we come to know.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the Tribe that we've come to know. It's the Tribe that we need to see through the rest of the lower bracket run. Losing out the matchup that they did to Wolves, you essentially, as a Tribe fan, have to watch them go through everybody as cleanly as what we just saw happen to Stamina.
Yeah, again, multiple times here for Stamina. You're seeing signs of life, why they're here in the World Championship, why they deserve to be here, why they are one of the best teams in Europe and one of the best teams in the world. It's just the consistency now, and they weren't able to put it together through a whole round.
And the other thing that we talked about at the beginning of this series, what were we going to get from Narcs? At the moment, he's got 5 kills. I mean, that's just not good enough. Like, we needed to see a much better Narcs. That was what Stamina really needed to use as their ability to get back into the series. And for the most part, he was pretty empty. I mean, 5 kills through like 3 rounds of control. Not good.
You even go through like the takeoff hardpoint map #1, and it's kind of like the same exact thing. You know, Tribe come out of the gates like a bat out of hell, and it's just a whole pace differential that Stamina just could not keep up with.
Yeah, and on the flip side, the young kid Jez showing up, dropping at least 30 there. And we get to see one of our first attack wins on Control. The defensive side on Control has been so dominant.
Yeah, and Jez is really establishing himself as like a possible favorite for tournament MVP, pending that we get Tribe all the way to the grand final. Still a long way to go there, but the thing is, the kid's nasty, man, and he's stepped up when Tribe's needed him the most.
I needed you to make sure you caveated that. It'll take a long journey before we get there as we take a look at our tournament bracket here. Got the champ side on the top, the Elim side on the bottom. Tribe Gaming moving on the bottom side. The top side still waiting for Smart Omega, Inco Stalwart, and Wolves and Luminosity, which will be our next match. Skade and Scars going up right now with Skade up 1 map to 0. Again, our tournament bracket brought to you by Republic of Gamers. We will be going to that bracket side, the Wolves versus Luminosity matchup, in just a short bit. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Call of Duty Mobile 2022 World Championships. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Raleigh, North Carolina for the Call of Duty Mobile 2022 World Championships. The Elim bracket is going, and tournament lives are ending as Tribe was able to outlast Stamina there in a 3-0 on the bottom side of the bracket. And now we've got ourselves the upper side. It's a big one. It's Wolves versus Luminosity Gaming. Digon here with Beef Mommy and Bobby, and y'all wanted to start right there. Quick thoughts on how this bracket has shaped up so far.
My goodness, we did not expect at all the Tribe was going to be on the brink of elimination. I mean, I feel like every single time, every single day, we have a little bit of a surprise, but not a really good one for Europe for today. Unfortunately, we're saying goodbye for Stamina, but hey, we're moving on into a new chapter where we're finally going into the top dogs playing up for our elimination.
Yeah, let's take a look at that bracket brought to you by Republic of Gamers. Again, top side of the bracket, champ side, it's a double elim. And so those teams on the top still have that loss to prove. Tribe Gaming, the only one that's made it to the quarterfinals so far on the elimination side, as Skade currently leading Scars. What are your thoughts here, Bobby, so far as well?
I mean, the fact that Tribe lost shows that everybody is defeatable in this tournament. So there's no team you can really consider a shoe-in through the rest of the way. You look at a Luminosity team that has been second to Tribe for a long time. They haven't been second by very much. They have had a lot of series, a lot of matches, a lot of games that have come very much down to the wire. They've just had a difficult time closing out. That hasn't been the case for them so far this weekend, but they're going up against a Wolves team that's got a lot of momentum right now.
Well, speaking of being second to none, got to speak about our friends ROG Phone 6. The upgraded Game Cool 6 cooling system makes it so easy for you to play. It is the technology that cools the CPU not only from the internal structure design, but also from the external gadget, the new Aero Active Cooler 6, which incorporates an AI-powered active cooling system. Thank you to our friends over at ROG Phone 6 for making it possible to have our World Championship. All right, let's start over there. Luminosity Gaming. You know, we haven't seen them on the main stage yet. We haven't seen them on the A stream yet. This is our first look at them, but they've been dominant so far here, Bobby.
Yeah, absolutely no question about it. This is a team that I've been watching for a while. They've got a chip on their shoulder as well, much like Tribe now does in the lower bracket. They've had some phenomenal pickups, but the main starting roster is the same one that they've had throughout the entire duration of the year. Obviously, this team didn't even exist at the end of 2021, but it does contain multiple world championships, multiple world champions from that Tribe roster in both Envy and Band.
Luminosity, phenomenal run so far in this competition where they are probably deemed one of the best teams here in NA, but like what we saw a while ago, Tribe is actually also one of the best, and they're just looking like they're in a different form in this matchup. They had so many great games so far, which leads them into this moment, especially knowing very well that they have one of the best players. That's going to be Band. He was the MVP for the Western Championship last year.
And perfect setup by Beef Mommy. We had the opportunity to speak to the young man Band here on his squad.
My name is Ben, and I'm a player for Luminosity Gaming. My teammates, we have Solo, our run and gun person. We have Blair, our anchor, and we have Envy. He's our IGL, tells us when to calm down when everything gets hectic. And last but not the least, we have Washi. He's our OBJ player. He makes us win the game because he sits in OBJ pretty much most of the time. I think I just run and gun, get the kills, and I also pick up the spots, you know. But yeah, I just have fun out there in the map. My experience playing in front of a crowd, I mean, it didn't really bother me as much. I thought I was gonna be nervous, but it just felt like I was playing back home in my couch or in my bed. So I don't think the crowd really matters that much. I realized I was better than the average Call of Duty player when I was it's called Rank S. You know, I was just like out fragging everyone and I was just killing everyone. After facing Team Nova and Team Skade yesterday, I think it helped my team have more confidence because it wasn't an easy sweep, but you know, we got them out the way pretty easy. So heading into the top 8, I don't think anyone matters in front of us. As long as we perform, then we'll be fine. Winning the whole thing, I mean, that's a lot of money. First thing, I will help my family get a better home, you know, and hopefully get myself a little nice car or something.
I love this interview by Band because, you know, we've heard interviews from everyone. Jericho giving us a heart-wrenching story with the coach over for Omega. Maybe a little bit more strategy on the opposite side with King. Band is just vibes, baby.
Yeah, he's just here to have a good time. That's what he loves to do. This is a guy that has been known as a major warrior. He's a solid player, but whenever it comes to Call of Duty Mobile major tournaments, this is the guy that shows up. There's a reason that he was the Western MVP for Tribe Gaming last year, and he is a very much to be feared player on the map.
And now, not just him, everyone else in his team actually goes and picks up. And from the video a while ago, Envy being their IGL, just making sure that everyone's going to be in order, just wagging his finger right there, just in case everything's going to be out of order. That's definitely going to be impressive. But take a look at who's going to be impressive as well. Wolves, on the other hand, gave us one of the biggest shockers in the tournament so far, bringing down Tribe Gaming in the elimination bracket.
Yeah, they ruined this all North American battle here that was supposed to happen, but what's supposed to happen is what happened. Wolves take it down. They outlast by 2 rounds, right? 7-5 on the S&D in firing range, and a lot of it has to do with this guy right here, Nian.
Neon has been absolutely disgusting with the Locust all weekend long, and not just doing it in S&D, we see him pulling it out in control as well. He can really make it work wherever he needs to. They've got another phenomenal sniper in King who can bring that energy as well. You got Anzai, who was their Masters MVP for all of China at the end of the season. They've got quite a conglomeration of players.
You're absolutely right. Their team comp is just unmatched right now for when it comes to bringing down one of the best teams to actually win, the favorite team to actually win this competition. But obviously, they are something special. And now, it's not just them. One player that I actually kind of thought of was Peg, is doing a really good job at anchoring down everything for his team.
Yeah, again, Nian is usually top in the lobby, but Peg has come up with very crucial streaks. Usually it's like 3 people on a site, and he's the one that has to clear it on out, wait for the rest of his team to come in. He'll get all 3 or get 2, damage 1, and gets the assist on it. Peg has had some crucial retakes on hardpoint.
Yeah, it feels like we're always saying his name at the most important point of every single game that we're watching. And that says a lot about a player, because obviously not everything that a player does is going to be reflected in the stat sheet, but doing the dirty work, the stuff that might not get you as much glory, that's what's going to get your team a championship.
It really is the high impact kills, right? And just trying to go in there, Peg was probably one of those people to really just deliver. And yes, not having the best stat line, but getting that essential kills, it's more than just the KD. Sometimes it just doesn't matter. The objectives really matter. The high quality kills matter to change the tides of the game here.
Well, we had the opportunity to sit down with Wolves' King. Let's take a listen.
我是来自卧虎死战队的 King， 我们现在已经来到了世界赛的8强，然后也是国服赛区胜的一支队伍。我觉得我们会继续带着秦9的意志继续打下去吧，然后也算是向世界证明我们国服赛区吧。我们战队算是5合体系，就是每个位置上都是没有短板的。 任何人在任何时候都可以爆发站出来的。我觉得既然已经来到这个世界赛打比赛了，我就非常相信我的队友们以及教练，因为我们是好兄弟，从我们 CDM 的 S4， 然后一路挺过来到了世界赛。如果我拿到了这笔奖金，我会为我回家升个舱，飞机升个舱。我觉得如果我们真的有幸拿到了世界冠军的话，我认为像是如果我们有幸 拿到了世界冠军，我觉得算是证明了我们自己，也算是证明了我们的团队，就是向世界证明了我们。
Well, King and the Wolves have already proven something here as they've taken down Tribe, the #1 seed, who's looked pretty damn good. Now they got to do it again. Stylistically, though, Luminosity a little different than Tribe.
It's just so different when it comes to their play styles, and it just looks like that Wolves is actually adapting very well here in day number 2. So I'm really excited to see how they're going to be playing up against another NA team that they might actually bring out into the elimination bracket. But hey, it's still too early to tell.
Last point, Bobby.
Yeah, adaptability has been the name of the game for the Chinese teams really ever since they finished their master season. That new rule set taking a little bit of time for them to get used to, but you can see the more and more that they practice against top tier competition, the better they look.
They're scaling just like our casting pairs shift improper. Guys, How you feel about it?
Hopefully we're not scaling in any sort of reptilian way, but hey, the adaptations that we're seeing on Wolves, I'm glad that Des brought that up as their final point, because yes, LG tried. A little different in nature, but I still have to go with the belief that Wolves need to show the same kind of presence that they did versus Tribe, particularly in the hard point.
Yeah, the word adaptability is gonna, I'm probably gonna hear that later on when I climb into bed. Thank you for that, Bobby, is just because it's what you need to do, right? So that way, if you go up against any sort of stylistic differences from Tribe now to Luminosity, Wolves on hardpoint absolutely need to be ready for it as we take a look at our map set here. Summit is where map 1 is going to be taking place. Slums and then Standoff are your first guaranteed 3 maps. But if we go to the distance for 4 and 5, Hacienda has made it through and Takeoff. And what's interesting about this for me is that Luminosity have actually taken away Firing Range. That's a map mode combination, Firing Range, Search and Destroy, that has been wreaking havoc for Chinese teams against North America.
That's a really valid point. Yeah, that matchup in particular, mostly the suffering form of that comes at the cost of Tribe fans in the venue. But the Summit hardpoint up first, this could be a really interesting trend-setting map for either of our two teams. Mostly, of course, I'm kind of keeping my focus on Wolves because they are going to have to win a hard point, I think, in this series. I was going to say the good news is Hacienda has made it back in, but Luminosity is not like Tribe in the form of they don't mind playing Hacienda. So we'll see. I would say for this one, though, Wolves need to have it come out with a good start.
Starting off at least on the favorite side for the time being, well, it doesn't really matter because it is Summit at the end of the day and everybody's overextending through the middle of the map, so spawns will remain wonky for the time being. Still a lot of time to be fighting over here, and well, you can see what Wolves are trying to do so far. Get themselves top glass position so that way they can look down to the hill.
The other thing I'm curious about as we dig our way through this particular map, will Wolves continue to do what a lot of other Eastern teams have done, which is pull out things like the KRN, get the shotguns into the mix. Zai from the Greats, able to find a couple that will open up the hard point for a contest. And yeah, the R9 is out for Peg, so not the KRN, but it still works out just as efficiently. A triple for Peg, but Wolves still empty from being able to fully contest.
Every single time that I see the R9 shotgun, I get just immediate flashbacks of Warzone with the fire breath shots. That thing hits like a freight train. But take a look at what's manifesting over on the left side of the map. Player number 2 in blue is Blur, trying to work their way all the way around the back, get behind enemy lines. P2 is about to pop on over and spawns a flip.
Yeah, great numbers, great zone of control here for Wolves. Comes to the backside of 3 straight eliminations. Trophies now able to get into the hard point freely. Nade's also quick in the backside, but LG prime position, ready to go in for the break attempt. Peg shut down, only able to go 1. Neon also low, will also drop in with that. LG pretty darn successful on this break.
It's not easy when you're thinking about Wolves had top class positioning. They should have had the easier opportunity to be able to win those gunfights, but Luminosity just brute forced their way through. Trades are still coming through though. Big 1v1 for this 38 seconds, and well, Zai's gonna be able to win it. Reinforcements right around the corner, and Luminosity, I like to see this discretion. You don't want to overextend nor isolate yourself to open up the floodgates for a
early heroics from Zai. Quadra kill plus a 5 streak earns him the Pred missile, though it does come up a little bit empty. It finds Solo, which will actually assist towards Wolves getting the rotation to new, and Peg can actually just sit and finesse with the R9. Oh my goodness, he's making this thing look nasty. On the rotation, LG trying to catch up as Wolves have taken the aggressive stance. Pred missile trying to track down a couple other LG members, but once again, comes up a bit empty, so you have to do it the hard way. King, good for it on the forklift. Finessing off the reload! King for the double, and LG still in a chance to contest, but they'll miss out on the spawns for now.
It's fine to not have the spawns immediately. This is a very realistic hardpoint just to hold from the front, but the extension is in. The spawn flip has ensued. Luminosity are going to find themselves into this hardpoint, just looking at the Wolves, just slowly working their way through this very narrow choke point.
R9 would be, you would feel hard-pressed to get in, so how about this, the claw? Bouncing off the walls, go all the bolts coming through. Wolves, a chance possibly to get in, contest, try to neutralize some of this time coming through for LG. Band in the corner, not able to get much of anything. King, great assistance, the bolt comes out, but no! Envy shuts things down as Neon was trying to push forward. Peg right behind him, but it's LG able to hold.
LG holding from in the hard point itself, and you're right, shutting down that R90 from getting on the inside of this hill would have been absolutely devastating. And now we go all the way back across the map where Wolves currently hold the respawns for this upcoming hard point, and you would feel like these battles, especially inside of the server room, are massive, so that way you can shut down the flank. But Blur's gonna be able to win it. He has 10 kills to his name, and he's trying to flank all the way around back.
He's gotten through. First kill comes out, second was right in front of him, but shut down as Wolves will anchor up the spawns and start to set a little bit of a forward play in and around our final hard point. Early clock coming out. Wolves finding the benefit of the majority of kills. Blur, some space to work with, but immediately shut down. LG just not finding any footwork to get a setup here.
They're trying to get this north lane under control. I mean, these stairs, nasty head glitch, but the crossfire on the backside is even that much better. King will get that kill. Spawns will remain intact, but the tussle inside the hard point is starting to turn up blue.
LG going to spend a couple operators trying to get this break underway. It works out for now. Nothing available to counter here for Wolves, so the break looks pretty darn solid. 25 seconds to fight. Shane from the backside, able to get in. And for some reason, LG just not even in the hard point for a moment. It actually kind of confused, I think, Shane just for a touch. Where is everybody? And as LG resurface themselves, it's quick kills. And with that, an opportunity to, again, keep growing their lead as they soak up all the scrap.
Yeah, towards the end of this first set of rotations, I mean, to say that it's a comfortable lead is an understatement, considering that it's about a whole hard point difference in between these two teams going in towards the second set. You even look at just some of the resources that are available and the way the Luminosity were kind of picking and choosing the way that they wanted to use said resources throughout the first set. They have 2 streaks, they have 2 operators as well. Definitely in the driver's seat, I would say so.
Have to stabilize here if you're Wolves. This could get out of hand very quickly. And you can kind of see it just by looking down at the minimap. It's just individual plays all over the place. Set something up, get a double hit going. Maybe this is the best chance. Jake from the high ground, shut down. Walshy, how about that? Band right behind him. This is working out really well for LG. Continuing just to pack a punch in towards this Wolves squad. And with that, we go 140 to 60.
Double-edged sword here for Wolves. You cannot allow all this time to go over to Luminosity here on P1, but you also want to maintain the spawns on the left side of the map.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, you have to get Luminosity off these time. These stray trades are just simply not going to be good enough.
Zai trying to line up a couple. Took a while, but he is able to finish off one elimination. Blur looking to fight through this scrap time as he makes his way over towards Catwalk. Good for 2, but nothing more. Wolves trying to stop the breathing. Breathing. They may be stopping breathing right now. Stop the bleeding. Cauterize the wound. Luminosity, though, off the high ground. Band down low, no problems there. Wolves still with numbers, more to deal with, and it's all coming from the second floor. Opportunity to jump on in as a collective, and whoa, boy, will they. 3 straight kills come through. Pred missile called in for LG, but is there going to be follow-up? Solo off the Purifier, able to take down 1, and he has single-handedly just walked on in to neutralize the time.
Still have that top class control, though, when you're looking at it for the Wolves. But you need to turn this power position into generating some time. Here comes Band, though. Insurmountable to the success that we saw with Luminosity versus Stamina just earlier ago. And this is almost the same ties of what we saw in the first set of hard points. Wolves get themselves a really good position up top glass. They're able to get in for the initial time. Luminosity just come through and win the gunfights.
It's important scrap time here, though, for Wolves. King finds some pretty solid value out of the claw. Blur already on rotation to New. He's actually taken down, so Wolves may actually flip the tide of what's happening on the minimap, but naturally I say that while she picks up a clean kill over through Jens. And that will once again put LG in the driver's seat as we head on over towards Elift.
Yeah, Envy all the way in towards the back. That is going to be the anchor for this initial setup as well. Wolves coming in towards this. They actually have 2 operators, and it looks like Peck's going to go ahead and pull out the claw, see if they can get some wallbang shots so that way they can get themselves in.
Chance, good read, but no, only the first. Purifier out. Blur uses that to kind of clear out the front door. Play off the flanks, though. Zai from inside the gondola itself gets 1, but really nothing you can do to follow up after that, and has Washi takes down a claw. Another double comes in, and the lead once again starts to grow and grow up to nearly 100-point gap here for LG.
Claw being expended here for Washi, and has 2 streaks to use. Band also has at least 1 streak to be used as well. 194 to 103. Wolves have broken on in out of desperation. They need to stabilize here for the scrap time and then also win the rotation over towards New. But the close spawns for Luminosity might just be too much to handle.
Yeah, you have to spawn trap here a bit if you're Wolves. Don't let anyone through the lines. Number 3 in yellow, Zai, he's already heading back for new spawns. But on the exit, LG flawless. A triple kill for Band. And with that, the lead will stay right around the 100-point gap. And numbers persist for LG on rotation. Can they find a way to clean things up and maybe just put this first map away quickly? Wolves, 1 more spawn in. Have to deal with this hit from Luminosity to try to extend the map a little longer.
You see number 5 on the map was Neon actually spawned out, so got gifted a little bit of a pinch, but he's only going to be able to find 1. Solo turns around for the trade, also pulls out the Purifier. It's going to get gross inside here, but a nice little shallow around the corner. Got to be able to find it. Peck now on 5.
Well done. Have to try to bump this hard point, though. Don't just sit and bunker down. Not with the streaks and potential that this LG team has shown so far in these close quarter battles. Clean kills, though, from Wolves. LG The last sizable hit at the moment is coming from the front. Snowpath largely locked down. The band gets in with the claw for a triple. One more on the outside, shut down. Can Wolves continue to fight for this scrap? 20 seconds to battle for. They need every last bit of it as well. Blur from the outside also put to rest, and with that, Wolves look good for the scrap time.
We'll be able to soak up the scrap time. That's going to put them just within 50 comparatively to maybe like the 60 or 90 you saw just a few moments ago. It's got to be said, Peg is trying their heart out just to be able to try to carry Wolves across the finish line. He has 43 eliminations to his name. Uncharacteristically, Niana only has 17. Got to have it here. Going in towards the third set of hard points, 213, 160.
On the back, Ching gets one, but doesn't expect Envy to be behind the PCs. Peg, nothing from the R9 there. LG with numbers as the hard point opens up. Neon trying to force something, but gets turned away. Peg, I mean, how about it? Another claw. This is like his fourth so far in this game. This could be used out nicely to try to clear some of these tight corners off. Not able to find any LG members though, and well, they're here in force. And that might just be the last hit, as Wolves are straggling out of spawn, trying to force their way forward, but LG denying at every point of contact.
244 and counting on up. It's just not looking too good. Band is set up inside of the hard point itself, just spraying through the doors, and that'll do it. 250 to 160 in favor of Luminosity. And, you know, I mean, as good as they really did play that, I do have to point out that Wolves, the majority of them, everybody outside of Peg, look very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
the entirety of the map.
That's really puzzling, because you would think that the guy that's pulling out the flex weapon in the R9 would have maybe the hardest time, just due to the fact that you kind of need a little bit of help to get the shotgun into the special areas where it really shines, but not really the case. Also, small update as the Bravo stream has just completed their lower round game. Skade will take a 3-0 over Scars. 250-154 standoff hardpoint, a convincing 7-3 takeoff search, and they clean it up with a 3-1 slum, sending Scars home.
Banned for 40 kills, 32 deaths, a minute of OBJ time, 36 to 27 for Envy. It is a well-oiled machine coming through from Luminosity Gaming. Again, the one that sticks out the most is just Peg on the outside, 46 to 34. Like you were saying, he was getting closer to about 5 claws than he was further away from it. But I mean, when you take a look at Jing and Nian, 20, 32, 18, 35 in the respawns, the way that we poised it here for this Wolves roster versus Luminosity Gaming, you have to steal a respawn. Hardpoint in Search and Destroy has been Luminosity's two game modes throughout the entirety of the week so far.
And I think just to kind of rebuttal that point and help you out there when it comes to really establishing this for Wolves in their win condition in this series, it's okay that you lose map 1.
Sure.
But now we get to convincingly say you have to win map 4. It would be tough, I think, to 2-3-5 this Luminosity team, because yeah, their control hasn't been spectacular, and Wolves has, but this LG team is looking really clean in Search and Destroy. So you kind of, in my opinion, have to take that Hacienda hardpoint now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you go back through it, again, Luminosity, even through the group stage,